Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers, it does. Now, I know I am literally reusing a tagline that we mentioned the other day about how Connor McDavid would reportedly miss some time when returning to the Edmonton Oilers from the 2026 Olympic Games. There were some comments made by his head coach Chris Knobloch saying that, we don't know if Connor's going to be able to play 23, 24 minutes on a back-to-back after coming over from Italy and being the most utilized player for the best team supposedly in the tournament and losing a gold medal in overtime. We don't really know if it's all too productive for him to play. And that's why we made this video. Connor McDavid needs a break. But lo and behold, he actually played yesterday. And the funny part is, even though he played yesterday for the Edmonton Oilers in what was ultimately a 6-5 regulation defeat at the hands of the Anaheim Ducks, things just got even worse for this guy. It has been a terrible past few days for Connor McDavid, and I understand you can say, hey, the guy's still making $12.5 million a year. Who is he to complain? And obviously that is a fair point. I think if you had asked anybody who knows anything about hockey, even with the Stanley Cup final defeats and the Stanley Cup MVPs and the gold medal losses and the Olympic MVPs that he has acquired, even with all of the tribulations, if you had asked anybody, hey, would you like to switch lives with Connor McDavid? I think most people would go out there and say yes. Obviously, this guy is super talented, super good at his job and everything in between, but it's been bad. And to help us out with why exactly it has been so bad, we have to look at this 6-5 Anaheim Ducks victory, where the Edmonton Oilers had themselves a 4-2 lead at the start of the third. Anaheim scored once, twice. Matt Savoy brought the Oilers back up into the lead before Beckett Seneca and Cutter Gauthier ultimately pulled Anaheim forward and away. By the way, look at the time of all these goals. Leo Carlsson, Olen Zellweger, Matty Savoy, Beckett Seneca, all in the first 6 minutes of the third period. Lo and behold, you had yourselves Edmonton Oilers starting goaltender Tristan Jarry, who ended up getting pulled. Look at that whopping .800 save percentage there. 5 goals against on 25 total shots. What a masterclass performance from a guy that was brought in to be the savior in the pipes for this Oilers team. And now, when you look at some of the extra notes following this game, it just looks so bad. And I'm just thinking like, hey, Connor McDavid was already announced by his head coach to actually not being able to play fully. Like there would be some sort of an obstacle in him getting back up to shape. But guess what? He goes out there against Anaheim and he plays 22 minutes. He gets 2 assists. He's a +2. He does everything he needs to do. This is coming off of playing 25, 24-minute games at the Olympics, some of the most intense hockey he has ever played. By the way, he was held pointless against the Americans in the gold medal game. So Connor McDavid steps into this Oilers lineup when many of us thought he wouldn't. And they go out there and totally blow it in the way that they did. Tristan Jarry was pulled tonight after allowing 5 goals on 24 shots. He now has an .863 save percentage in 12 games with the Edmonton Oilers. That's abysmal. That is absolutely terrible. How can you go out there and say that this guy is the guy that's supposed to lead the Oilers to the promised land? I'll tell you this, the Oilers have a pretty good opportunity at their hands. You take a look at who it is dominating the NHL this season, Florida is nowhere to be found. They might not even make the playoffs the way they're going. In fact, I'd say it's probably a likely scenario that the Panthers, who are 8 points out of a playoff spot, do not get the winning streak that they need to get into the postseason. So Edmonton if you assume the Oilers have a chance to go back to the finals for a third year in a row, it's not even like they're guaranteed to meeting the Panthers again. But this guy is supposed to be the guy that helps you do that? I don't know about that, man. Matthew Panchison went out there and posted his thoughts on the Oilers' 6-5 loss. Matthew Savoy was Edmonton's best player, strong on both sides of the ice. The penalty kill was strong and is once again back to using the wedge +1. Finishing and 5v5 offense was really good. 5v5 defense was also good, despite the score. Nurse couldn't put together 60 minutes, and Tristan Jarry gave Anaheim the win. On to the next. I liked most of what I saw. Jarry should now be on thin ice. Edmonton can't lose these games. Let's go out there and read some other comments. This is what Shaden went out there and said. Just sell. Dead serious. Regroup hard in the offseason in the final 2 years of McDavid's contract. The amount of cap the Oilers will have is insane. And then you have what Chris Knobloch had to say about the goaltending at Edmonton. Obviously, I wasn't happy with the goaltending. The goals that we gave up, especially in the third period, I didn't like those. Definitely there were other mistakes there, but you need better goaltending. And tonight was not one of his best games. Now, there's a reason it's Mike Halford from Vancouver going out there and making a tweet about Chris Knobloch quotes. That's absolutely brutal. The head coach, as bluntly as possible, just saying to the media, yeah, our goaltending let us down. He sucks. He didn't do his job properly. We needed saves, he didn't give us saves. And now you're taking a look at some of the other moments of this hockey game. I mean, Connor McDavid ended up going into the net late in the third period. He almost got the tying goal, but then Ian Moore took him out. It's been a pretty rough go for Connor McDavid the past few days. Combine this with the McDavid question that he was asked earlier this morning. Connor McDavid and Mark Spector, this was going off on Twitter yesterday as well. Will Connor McDavid ever win? Mark Spector dug into those tough questions yesterday. This is a hard question, but Stanley Cups found Gretzky, Crosby, those guys, gold medals, you put yourselves in the position, but it's not finding you. Did you think it would be this hard? Spector asked McDavid. That's a nice question. Thank you. Thanks for that. It's disappointing. We could have had a totally different conversation. It's hard to win at any level. In the best of the best, margins are small. We felt the effects of that in Edmonton from time to time. Spector then replies, you're a pretty hungry guy. Can this loss make you hungrier? It's all a part of the process. What other option do I have? That is an absolutely brutal question. It's tough being Connor McDavid, man. Not just because you have to be the best hockey player in the world, but because you're subjected to this. Media pressure going out there and comparing you to Gretzky and Crosby, saying that you're not good enough. And then your team absolutely crapping the bed because Tristan Jarry can't make a save. With all that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It's been rough for Connor McDavid, and it's not getting any better anytime soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.